So, hello everyone. Good afternoon. Have I got a treat for you? Renee Trueheart here. I have got a treat for you. Now, you know how, you see the title, Who Are Donald Trump's Parents and Siblings? And in fact, who is Donald Trump? So, what I decided to do today is to give you all an inside look on who is Donald Trump, where did he come from, who did he come from, and how did he become who he is today. So I did a little digging, and I thought it would be fun for us to get to know this person who will be running the US of A again. He will be running our country again. And you know how you get to know somebody through somebody else. A lot of us got to know Donald Trump through television mainly. We got to know him through, of course, when he became the president of the United States, the 45th president. And we got to know him with all the news and all the insurrections and all of the things that he's done that has not been so good to this country. And then we turned around, some of you turned around and voted for this guy again. So I said, you know what? Let's find out who this guy is. Let's dig a little deep, go into his history and see who this guy is, who doesn't want immigrants in this country or illegal immigrants. But I've heard it both ways. We're not going to get into that. I just want to focus on what I want to share with you all today, my findings of who this guy is, and I want to share that with you all today. So let's get into it. So Donald J. Trump's great-grandfather, his name was Frederick Trump, from 1869 to 1980. Frederick Trump was born in Karlstad, which was a small town in what is now known as Germany. He migrated to America in 1885 at the ripe age of 16, seeking what was that? What was that he was seeking in the good old US of A? You guessed it, better opportunities. He initially worked as a barber in New York City before heading west during the gold rush. His entrepreneurial ventures included opening restaurants and hotels, often catering to miners and travelers. His establishments, which sometimes had a reputation for offering more than just food and lodging, helped him amass a modest fortune. Okay? But back in 1901, Friedrich briefly returned to Germany. He married Elizabeth Christ. Her name is spelled Elisabeth, and Christ is spelled pretty much like Christ, Jesus Christ, Christ, or Christ, I don't know, and attempted to settle there back in Germany. However, he was expelled for failing to complete mandatory military service, and he had to return to the U.S., the good old U.S. of A. Let's talk about his great-grandfather, whose name was Fred Trump Sr., 1905 to 1999. Fred was born in the Bronx, New York. As a young man, he started working in real estate and construction with his mother, Elizabeth, with the Z, Elizabeth Trump, who took over the business after her father's death in 1918. Fred founded Elizabeth Trump and Son and focused on building affordable housing for middle-class families in New York City. During World War II, he expanded his business by, get this, constructing barracks and apartments for military personnel. Now, Fred's business practices occasionally drew criticism, including allegations. Oh boy, here we go. Here's the next shoe dropping. Racial discrimination in housing. Now, who's surprised? We've heard that 1,000 times. Okay, his father, who is Fred Trump Jr., 1905 to 1999. Fred Trump Sr. had 5 children, one of whom was Donald's father, also named Fred. However, Donald's father was primarily Fred Sr., the real estate mogul. Okay? Donald Trump, our new president-elect, was born June 14th, 1946. He's a Gemini like me. Okay, Donald Trump was born and raised in Queens, New York. He attended the New York Military Academy for high school and later transferred to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in economics. Okay, that's good. Donald Trump joined his father's real estate business in the 1970s, focusing on large-scale projects in Manhattan. He became known for developing luxury buildings, casinos, and hotels, branding them with what? Of course, his name. In the 2000s, Trump became a television personality, hosting the famous reality show, The Apprentice. Trump entered politics in the 2010s and served as the 45th president of the United States from 2017 to 2021. All right, but let's go back into a little bit of family history before we get into anything a little bit deeper about Donald Trump. Okay, Friedrich Trump's immigration. Let's go back there for a minute. Friedrich's moved to the U.S. at 16. Remember that. He was typical of any German immigrant seeking economic opportunity in the 19th century. So that was typical. His success in entrepreneurial ventures like the Arctic restaurant and hotel in the Yukon during the Klondike Gold Rush was a turning point for the family's financial stability. The good old US of A. Okay, but when Friedrich tried to resettle in Germany, remember this? He was denied citizenship because he had left as a young man without fulfilling his military service obligation, a point of contention for him and his family. So he had to come back to the United States and take cover in the United States. Wouldn't you know that? The good old US of A. Okay, Fred Sr. capitalized on New York deal housing programs in the 1930s and 1940s, allowing him to grow his real estate business significantly. He built over 27,000 apartments during his career, mostly in Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island. Fred Sr.'s mother, Elizabeth, with the Z, played a key role in managing the family's business after Friedrich's death. She was an early example, of a female entrepreneur in her era when women were rarely in business. So that was cool. That's really cool. As a woman, I think that's cool. Okay, let's go back to Donald. Donald Trump was sent to New York Military Academy at the ripe age of 13 due to, get this, another shoe getting ready to drop, behavioral problems, behavioral issues, okay? This discipline, though, was the environment that shaped much of his personality and his leadership style. Okay, Trump began his college career at Fordham University, but transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, which he often cites as a prestigious part of his resume. Of course he does. Okay, his first major real estate deal was renovating the Commodore Hotel in Manhattan, and it's now called the Grand Hyatt, using a combination of loans and tax abatements. What is a tax abatement? It's a tax benefit to anyone who is investing in real estate, and there's a tax abatement in place, which means you will catch a good break on taxes for a certain period of time. Okay? Trump had 3 marriages, okay? He was married first to Ivana Trump in 1977 to 1992, Marla Maples in 1993 to 1999, and Melania Trump in 2005, and he's still married to her today. His children are Donald Jr., Ivanka, Eric, Tiffany, and Barron, okay? While Trump never personally declared bankruptcy, several of his businesses, particularly casinos in Atlantic City, filed for bankruptcy multiple times in the 1990s and 2000s. He framed these, of course he did, as strategic moves to restructure debt. The Apprentice and its catchphrase, "You're fired," turned Trump into a pop culture icon, bolstering his public image as a savvy businessman. Okay, his political career, before his successful 2016 run, Trump did consider presidential campaigns in 1988, 2000, and 2012, though they were exploratory. Okay, but in 2016, his running platform, y'all already know, "Make America Great Again." Okay, Trump focused on issues like immigration. Interesting, didn't when his great-grandfather was an immigrant, didn't he benefit from that greatly? Because that's who he is today, because of his great-grandfather, Friedrich, immigrating here to America. Isn't that how he became who he is today? But let's continue. Okay, so he focused on issues like immigration, trade, and national security. His campaign heavily utilized social media to connect with supporters. Trump became the first U.S. president to be impeached twice, in 2016 over alleged abuses of power and obstruction of Congress, and again in 2021 for incitement of insurrection, but don't tell nobody. Okay, the Trump trademark, Trump's name became a brand used on everything from steaks to vodka to now a defunct airline. Trump made cameo appearances in movies and TV shows, including Home Alone 2 and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. On his mother's side, Trump has Scottish ancestry. His mother, Mary Ann MacLeod Trump, immigrated to the U.S. from the Isle of Lewis in Scotland. Okay? Over the years, Trump has donated to various causes through his charitable practices, have also faced scrutiny for alleged self-dealing through the Donald J. Trump Foundation. So this, my little true hearts, is in essence the person that is going to become our next, or is already elected now. Let me be clear, because I don't want anybody coming all after me, all in the comments. He is the president. He is elected the president. Even with all that's going on, a lot of people are still madly in love with this guy. But the whole point is, I want you all to know who this person is, where he came from, how he got here, how he became to be our president again, and just to give you all just a little bit of the inside track of this man. And that way, at least you have an idea of who your president is, where he came from, how he come to be here. The only thing I still question, and I will question until he gets in the White House, if he makes it in the White House, because I always say he's not sitting yet, I'm going to question who this guy is, and I'm always going to question, how can he be so against immigrants when his own heritage is full of immigrants, when that's how he became who he is. That's huge to me. This, my friend, is how you became who you are. Yet and still, you have a problem with the opportunities that the good old US of A affords you. I hope you all enjoyed hearing about your next president that you all elected, that some of you elected for your 2025 president. He will be inducted in the seat to sit as our president for the next 4 years on January 20th, 2025. And we gotta be together, try to hang in there. But at least you have an inside look and an inside knowledge of who this person is, because we get our information from the media. We get our information from what Trump calls the fake news. We get our information from all of these places. And I decided to dig a little deeper to give my fellow Americans the same information I wanted. I just wanted to know who this person is and find out about who he is for myself and share that information with you all. And also we can still have an informed decision about who we think he is based on what we now know through my digging, what you all may know yourself through your own digging, what you've learned through the media, the facts that you know, and some of the fake, so-called fake news as well. Have an amazing day.